report for one of the early albums, and he really, now he must be in his 70s, 80s. I don't even know anymore, but he called me to play in his band when we were when I was in college, and I was playing with some of the old Minneapolis jazz cats. I had just arrived from Peru maybe a year or 2 years before that, and I was studying really hard to be able to hang with those guys. But they were all so, like gracious, and they really mentored me well.
And did that lead you to the journey to working with Pitbull ultimately?
Not really. Well, I would say not directly. I think every opportunity has like definitely helped in making me a better musician, but the Pitbull situation was a whole other thing. I got recommended by an amazing saxophone player from Puerto Rico who lives in New York called Mario Castro. Apparently Pitbull's team, they were looking for someone who could play the saxophone, the guitar, and also preferably speak Spanish because they all are, Latinos.
Right.
So I think there was maybe not very many people who can do that, and I was asked to do the audition, and then they picked me.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
first and foremost, I congratulate you on that as well. And I understand that would also lead you to working with Carol G as well.
Yes, definitely.
And
Yeah.
how was that experience? I saw, various clips of on stage with Pitbull and also with Carol G, but I didn't get a chance to really like go into the nitty-gritty with your clips of Carol G. So what was that experience like?
So those are the two big tours that I've done, and they have been very hard for various different reasons. I would say the Pitbull tour was, it's probably one of the hardest gigs that I've done. As far as like endurance, performance, I was not just playing saxophone, but also playing guitar, and sometimes I had to switch off from one instrument to the other in a matter of like 15 seconds and make sure that I'm ready to go. Lights go on, and you have to be on as the, like performance wise as well. So that tour taught me so much as far as, being on stage, performance, crowd, connection, and, emoting not just with your instrument, but also with your body and with your face. And the Carol G tour, that was so on the Carol G, I was part of the horn section together with Ella Briseño, who's an amazing trumpet player from Venezuela. And, we had the songs were they're pop, reggaeton, so they're very simple. They're mostly for dancing, and um that tour, it was like easier than the Pitbull one. And also I was traveling with my best friend Gemma, who plays the keyboard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that. Like I've noticed you guys collaborated very often. So I mean, I'm happy to have, seeing you two do your thing and you guys got a chance to share the stage finally like all over the country. So no,
Yeah,
that's
Gemma
a
and
big
I went to college together. We were playing at the bar in front of like our college, like cover songs. We've done everything since 2015 or so, and
Oh
then we got
wow.
to share the stadium tour together as well.
That's incredible. I mean, pretty much a whole decade. So
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
that's true.
And it's always a beautiful thing when you get a chance to share the stage nationally, internationally with, per se, your best friend or someone you worked with for so many years. So, no, that's
Yes.
incredible to hear.
Yeah, really. Like that was one of the best experiences of my life. Just sharing the stage with one of my closest friends and traveling together.
Now, and you mentioned her and traveling and performing together. Will she be on any of your forthcoming recordings? I had wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, actually, I'm on one of hers. I think she just released a single called Press Start that I recorded saxophone on. And so Gemma lives in Peru actually, which is where I'm from. So we don't see each other that often, but whenever I go visit family, we always try to make something together, collaborate. And we're talking, it's already August, and I'm probably going in December. So we're starting to talk about recording something coming up soon.
Oh, nice. You definitely got to keep me in the loop of that. So that way, I can ensure that we plug it up on MOC radio because I'm always plugging up your music. So it'd be nice to plug up any other songs and collaborations that you have in the works. So definitely, you know, keep us in the loop.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No,
Will do.
anytime. And in the midst of everything else that you've done, is there anything that's forthcoming for Lucia Sarmiento as far as not just recording, but also precisely touring or festivals or anything? Like we want to know what's, you know, coming up with you.
Yeah, so right now I just finished my move. It's been crazy. I just moved to Chicago, so I am getting settled. I'm kind of like laying low, writing music. I don't have any big tours, any shows coming up. But I do have a record that's coming out in February. It's ready to go, and stay tuned. You can check it out on my website for the album release dates for the shows.
Awesome. We'll be sure to stay in touch via your website and of course social media as well. And speaking of social media, how can um our listeners follow you?
Oh yeah, on Instagram you can find me as Lu Sarmiento Music. And you can also find all my social media handles on my website, which is luciasarmiento.com. You can also find me on Spotify and on all the streaming platforms. You can find my music there.
Awesome, incredible. Well, again, I'm very humbled to have finally been able to speak to you today, and congratulations on everything that you've done thus far. And we're looking forward to the forthcoming album. I mean, your overall debut album next year in the first quarter of 2025.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me, Brandon.
I don't know,
Appreciate it.
anytime. No, thank you. It's definitely an honor. And before we conclude, please stand by for me, okay?
Mhm.